And let's see who wants to give us the recap this week.
I volunteer, Mike.
I technically gave it last week because you dropped out, so...
It's somebody else's turn.
Well, I remember we did a lot of faffing about. There was a whole ceremony thing that went in a very strange direction. And I don't think once it gets back to the medical registrar officers, they're not going to like it. We met Mercy's mum, who seemed nice, and gave us all cake. And everyone seemed really, really ecstatic about cake. But for Edward, it's just, that was nice cake. Nothing special, but it was pretty good. And then we took a job to pilot an illegal vessel through space without any transponder codes in the employ of smugglers in order to get an illegal piece of technology to make the ship have a real name in order to sell it in a way that is also probably very illegal, but very lucrative.
Illegal is such an...
Assuming we survive.
Illegal is such an ugly word.
Oh yeah, we're going to work for a crew that wants 2 of us dead, I think. That's good. We're also taking along our friends in the band, who are going to be extremely helpful when it comes to running a highly advanced starship and fighting pirates and the law and other things like that.
They'll be useful with fighting pirates. They'll be running around screaming, giving them things to shoot at other than us.
And they'll probably be telling the pirates things we don't want them to. I'm expecting Morgan to spill the beans.
And I think after we accepted the job, we started talking about buying guns and ammo. And I think that's when we finished.
Indeed. I do believe that Miller had some people sent off the station.
Yeah, that's true.
Did they at least have a spacesuit?
Mom, what's happened to her?
Please don't do that while I'm drinking. Nearly had coffee all over the computer.
Yeah, I moved Mercy's mum and someone else. Who was it?
I believe it was Barry's mother.
Ah, that's right. I had them moved into the loving care of my aunt, my grandmother.
I'm sure they'll be completely safe.
Oh, my mom.
Well, put it this way. They're going to be alive.
As long as you say holiday and not vacation, it's fine.
Brings back memories.
So,
Top.
any other last minute plans that you had?
I seem to remember.
Can't think so. I think we just grabbed as many guns as we could afford, and
Oh yeah, we're all soon to be let go of our jobs on this
yeah.
in this place, or a temporary leave of absence, as it were, for many.
I don't know how she's planning to make a temporary leave of absence for my character from the Marines.
In order to
do this not this completely illegal act.
So, everyone got their gear together?
Aye.
Yeah.
Okay.
All of you kind of get together and head to the airlock.
Barry's coat is chinking with the bottles inside his coat chinking against each other.
Are any of you wearing suits to get on? Or are you just going to go through the docking collar without anything extra?
I'm definitely going in a suit.
Oh, I'm in a suit. I'm not taking any risk. Not that I don't trust the nice lady running everything, but
Well, yesterday it was full of holes, so it's probably wise to go in a suit.
Check the structural integrity of the ship before we do anything else.
If you run like a quick scan on your computers, you can see most of the holes have been patched.
Oh, most. Great.
just the ones that let in vacuum that are part of the problem.
I'll get my tools.
It still definitely needs some work, but it seems like, it could get by as long as you're not in any sort of combat.
Of course, we're not expecting to be in any sort of combat.
Indeed.
Have we got enough credits left for some hull patches and some hull paint? Maybe we can do some work in transit.
Yeah, it's been repainted and everything. They definitely would have loaded on some basic repair supplies for you guys.
Did they painted the band logo on the hull?
You're gonna have to leave the station and actually put together the QT drive, finish the repairs on it, I should say. As was mentioned last week, I believe.
What does QT stand for?
Quantum travel.
Yep.
Is it one of these where they've actually used an actual name for it? It's just called a QT drive.
Yeah, quantum travel drive, but people just say QT. I will mention you're not going to be doing repairs on the outside of the hull during QT.
No.
If you step out of the airlock in QT, you're going to be in the middle of space.
Yeah, you step out the airlock in QT and the ship disappears rapidly.
Yes.
I'm feeling adventurous today. I've always wondered what would happen if I did this.
Oh, is there not a subspace envelope surrounding the ship?
Yeah, it's about 1 inch off the surface of the ship.
Oh, that's not very Star Trek.
This isn't Star Trek. Thank God, because I think I'm the guy with the red suit, so I'm the one that gets killed.
That reminds me of something I forgot to ask earlier. Is like in the default Traveler universe, there is no communication that's faster than ships. Is that the same in what is this, Star Citizen?
I do believe it's the same. Like they have ships that have to go through the jump points in order to deliver information between systems, I believe.
There's
no FTL radio or anything like that.
No subspace radio then. Yay!
I mean, I think they have faster communication than our radio, but I don't think it's faster than the ships.
no.
Good. That means when you're running away, the bad guys can't warn the opposite, it's people you're coming.
Considering they have grav plates, though, like, I don't know. Anyway, we can talk about that later.
Well, everyone always discovers anti-gravity first because it saves on the special effects budget.
Yeah. Well, I was just thinking if you can create gravity plates, you can probably send information via gravity waves, which travel at the speed of light. But
No
Might as well
phone,
just send
no
radio then.
Exactly. Well, they have much longer duration distance there. Also, I think sending by gravity wave might use up a small amount more power.
yeah, definitely.
We're gonna
Like a
need
supermassive
planet.
black hole.
Well, they wouldn't necessarily have to be that strong, and it would be simple since you could send it in ones and zeros by making alternating patterns. So.
I'll get right on it.
But anyways, as far as we're aware, I don't think anything really travels through jump points that's not material. So
No, it actually says in the design document that even the comma rays, they don't actually need ships to visit them. But what happens is they send these little drones that go through QT space,
yep.
so they have to jump.
What was it? Was it a caravel or a carac?
A carrot, yeah.
Caracal.
So all of you sort of board this airlock through the docking collar and get onto the Carrack. The condition seems to be slightly better. Light bulbs have been changed and whatnot. You don't no longer have flickering. But as far as basic systems go, it's still in a similar state to what it was.
Oh, well,
Time for some free flight.
yay.
Who here is going to be piloting it?
Who here can?
I think we have more than one. I
I can
definitely.
pilot a spaceship.
Oh yeah. Is it a? What skill is necessary?
Pilots.
Pilot spaceship.
Spaceship. Okay.
We've got small craft, I think,
Mm.
which means that we're a naught.
Mike, you're breathing into your mic a little.
Sorry.
I've got pilot 0, so I can help out if someone else is killed or injured, but otherwise I shouldn't be the main pilot.
I'm going for command astrogation, I think.
There's definitely multiple crew stations.
Well, I have pilot spaceship, so I'm actually trained in it. So
Yep.
Once you get on board the Carrack, life support seems to be working. It's up to you guys whether you feel comfortable enough to take off your suits.
Well, we're gonna have to eventually anyway.
Yep.
if someone with some engineering skill can go down and take a look at it and see how reliable it is.
What, the life support systems? Or the...
Yep.
Okay.
Life support systems, the repairs.
Yep.
Would prefer not to be going right in the middle of QT jump and suddenly all the repairs to break.
Do you want me to do a life support roll to assess the condition of the repairs?
Sure, make me a roll. That sounds good.
Let's see how terrible I rolled today, because yesterday was a whole pile of rubbish. Ew, that's not too bad.
Okay, let me check my notes here. So life support seems mostly stable. It's not operating at full capacity though. It shouldn't be a problem with the number of people you have on the ship, but probably wouldn't be recommended to, you wouldn't want to load up like 20 to 30 people onto like the ship.
I wouldn't want to load up 20 to 30 people on this ship anyhow. It's only designed for about a 10-man crew.
Well, plus passengers and whatnot. You can have more. It's just the life support system couldn't handle it right now.
Okay, let's go through this.
Well, there's 9 of us, I think. We've got safe capacity for 15.
Okay, Doc, sounds good. Let's check the rest of the ship's system, shall we?
I'll go and check the flight systems, make sure they're all right.
I'm going to take my helmet off and hope I don't die.
Miller's
I'll
checking.
watch and wait and see if he dies.
Miller's checking astrogation and computers.
Yep.
It begins.
Just how many people did you have to sacrifice to the world for your role?
At least 55 in Maladon.
It's disgusting.
I think 7 of them are Ernie Scarcity.
They are. And the Roll20 gods, they count twice.
Oh, +4. That's pretty good.
Do I have to make a piloting roll or something?
Yeah, make me one. It's not like you're just doing something routine, so I'm only even asking for roll because the ship is damaged. Yeah, you're fine. She's definitely a little she's a hard. Oh, okay. Even 7 is fine. She's a hard to maneuver because she's kind of beat up, but she can get the job done still.
Always leans to the left or something.
Yeah.
Let me guess. IFCS is shot, and she steers like a cow. Yes, great.
You're having to compensate for the damage systems a lot, but you can do it. And the computer, even the backup computer on this is still good enough. It's designed for deep space exploration and military, so even the backup computer assists you in that at least a little bit.
Did we really expect it to fly like a sports ship? This thing was blown to pieces only yesterday. So,
Could I check for any stowaway passengers if there's?
Sure.
Can I use
paranoid
something
much?
for it? I mean, you described the station as a shithole, so I'm guessing if someone knows that we're about to leave, someone may sneak in.
Yeah, sure. Make me a check.
Good thought, Cupcake.
I'm paranoid. Sue me.
Me too.
Just because they're paranoid doesn't mean they're not out to get you.
He checked the chip and you don't find anyone.
Perfect.
So you know what age to rate the films then?
I was not going to mention the misspelling.
So, the ship kind of slowly moves out and gets on its way until it picks up to SEM speed.
Oh, wait. Are we not picking up the rest of the band and stuff?
I think they
The
came
band
up
is with you, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they're all up to speed and they're all eager.
I wouldn't
Please
say
meet you.
I wouldn't say they're eager, but they're up to speed.
Let's set sail.
Barry, what are you up to during this time?
I look over. Barry will try looking over some of the maintenance and repairs that were made and see if they're sturdy from more up close rather than just using scanners.
Sure. Roll me an engineer. Or mechanic works too. So you kind of look over. Again, pretty shoddy work, but it seems like as long as you're not doing anything to disturb it, it should be okay. This was
Don't
made by
touch anything.
it was made by not the best mechanics in not a lot of time, so you definitely think if you get into combat, it might be worth your time to put on your suits. Perhaps to, like, have like your suit on with just like a helmet, just in case, sort of thing. Like without the helmet on, I'm trying to say. That way you can just slip it on really quickly if something happens.
We've got enough suits for all 9 people.
Yeah, you do.
Need to make sure that those spaceships are regularly checked on. Make sure they're all working. We could need them at any moment.
How about you, Edward?
What about me?
Are you up to anything in particular?
I was already going over all the life support systems. After that, I will probably head up to the sick bay, or they call it a sick bay on a ship, or infirmary.
Infirmary, sick bay, medical bay would all be appropriate for this ship. It's not anything fancy.
I'll go to the bit where people probably don't want to be because that means they're dead or dying. That bit, and take.
Well, the ship
inventories.
isn't that big. It's just got like a room essentially with a medical bed. If you were seeing like Fireflies of Serenity, think like the medical room in that. It's just like a one room.
Quickly put it up on Google.
Yeah, it's one room. It's very small.
How about you, Erica?
We're probably just hanging out in the mess hall, staying out of people's way, just keeping separate.
Gotcha.
Okay, Gibbo, how we looking? How many green lights and red we got on that board, pal?
Yeah, it's flying. Systems seem to be handling things.
As you say that, the whole ship gurges quickly to the left, and everyone gets shifted around.
Well, apart from that, whoever fixed this thing really should have gone out and kicked the flaming thrusters a bit better.
Hey, Mercy. Anybody around we ought to worry about?
Oh, don't worry. I already checked.
How about outside the ship?
Outside?
Yeah, I'm talking about other ships, baby doll. We haven't got a transponder.
Oops. I didn't think of that.
Get on those sensors for me.
Alright.
Mercy, are you extending the sensor array as you do this, or are you just using the basic sensors?
I guess I can do a general sweep.
Well, the Carrack has these arms that come out that give it advanced sensing capabilities.
Nice. I will use that then.
Very well. Then make me your check with DM plus 2.
Alright.
Nice work.
Thank you.
I think if it's out there, you found it.
Indeed. So, Mercy, you do like a sweep of the outside of the ship and also the system. And you find like a few pockets of pirates. They don't seem to necessarily be targeting you, but they seem to be around like various areas and like asteroids. And actually, you pick up even a blip somewhere. It's in the direction that Cassandra was going. You can tell with your pretty expert roll here that whoever it is that was masking is trying to mask their signature, but it's probably much bigger than what it looks like at first glance. You can tell just by like the response of it isn't natural. So
I'm going to upload those findings to the main frame of the computer so the pilot can see where the pirates are, where any kind of ships are.
And the
So that
pilot
we
will
can avoid
avoid,
them.
and said pilot will avoid those pirates.
That's a good lad.
I'm gonna start plotting a course to the jump point.
all right, you do so.
Avoiding the pirates.
You begin heading in that direction until you get the QT on, though, or unless Barry gets the QT on, the journey's going to be a lot longer than
No kidding.
what I gave you. So
Anyone here got any engineering experience? That's what I thought, says Miller, unbucking himself and going down to the.
I thought
Hey,
Barry.
Barry, you're with me now.
Well, Barry was the guy who installed stuff.
No, I just have mechanic skill. I never used engineering.
Me either. But I've got mechanic.
Yeah, mechanic
I've
should be
modified too.
okay.
Yeah.
Let me
I've
double
got en-
check.
If it has to be engineer, I've got engineer 0 since I have life support 1.
Well, it does say maintaining and operating a spacecraft's jump drive is engineering.
That's right.
So I guess it probably would be more engineering than mechanic. I think mechanic could probably help, but you would definitely need someone who at least had some training in engineering.
Hey, Doc, we're heading down to the QT drive. Maybe you could join us.
As soon as I've finished taking inventory, I'll join you there.
Maybe you want to do it first, since we're a sitting duck out here.
And can't go anywhere very fast until the QT drive is fixed.
There's only one cabinet of medicines. It's not going to take me long.
Hey, Gibbo, crank the drive up, get us up to a high speed, then shut everything down to see if we can mask our signature while we're sitting.
Okay, let's. You can try anything.
So basically, we're going up to maximum speed and then decoupling. Turn the drive off completely, so we just maintain the steady speed.
Try and make like a hole in space.
Gotcha.
That's the way, pal.
So you're gonna decouple and then basically turn off the engines after you get going, is what you're saying? If I
Yep.
okay, basically reducing your signature. Got it.
Mhm.
Are you doing anything else to reduce your signature?
Is there anything that I can do? Does the ship have any?
Well, I mean, for example, you can turn off the shields, which means if a fight comes up, obviously you won't have your shields powered currently. But on the plus side, it reduces your signature pretty significantly because shields eat a lot of power. So
Yeah, might as well. I've got the feeling that if it comes to a fight, we're screwed anyway. So yeah, I'll shut the shields down as well. Do whatever I can to give us as minimal signature as possible.
all right, as all of you are kind of moving about the ship, you see the lights sort of all dim, and the ship goes into its like secondary lighting.
Okay, Doc. What'd you make of this pile of junk?
What do I make of this pile of junk?
Let me see. Did you make me a check yet?
We're taking a long time to do this because we're crap at it. So
Okay.
we increase the task difficulty by reduce it by 1, so we get +2.
Okay. You can probably get some help from the computer system too, just by going over the schematics.
So what modifier value do you want me to put in there? 3 or 1 or 2?
Just click the
Um,
button. Click the button and add 2.
yeah, that sounds good.
So
That is
2.
why you do it.
Mhm.
So add 2 to that, and that's 10.
Nice.
Yeah, so it looks like some of the wiring needs to be fixed and completely replaced. A few of the capacitors are blown out, and then the main core is also needs to be replaced. But you do have all the parts to do that, so whoever came before you kind of knew what you needed. They just didn't have time to actually change things out.
Okay, people, let's get this done. I think Barry and I will handle the wiring if you can deal with the core dock.
Yeah, it's just like surgery, except if you go wrong, everything explodes.
Don't go wrong.
With computer aid, I'm basically going to start the rewiring process.
Very well. You can assist Barry if you wish.
I think with his computer, he's better, so I think I'd probably best I assist him.
Well, I'm assuming the wiring would be mechanic, so.
I think I'm a better mechanic.
Yeah, that's
Oh
what I mean.
God!
Yeah.
I've got education 2 and a mechanic skill of 0, and I'm still better.
We don't. We're taking our time, so do we get a +2?
Yes.
Okay, 'cause we are taking our time. Right, I'll add that in. There we go.
Excellent.
Nice.
11.
And so it
that's
begins.
X3, presumably.
There we go, pal.
The two of you managed to get the wiring changed out pretty easily, actually.
How long does it take us?
I mean, it takes you probably like a few hours.
Yeah.
Took our sweet time, making sure we didn't screw up.
Yep.
Job's a good one.
What's next then?
I do think I'll need another engineering check from you, Edward, just to actually change the core.
Okay. So
Same.
I'm adding.
Same as
2.
before. I'll give you another +1 since you took the time to actually diagnose it too.
Okay.
Ooh.
Nice.
As the 2 years you in the wire, you just see Edward kind of excellently change out the core like he's done this a million times over before.
Flux capacitors connect to the supercooling conductor wire.
Technobabble activate.
Inverse polaron matrix. I've prepared for this.
Erica, your food up there is highly nutritious.
Shit.
Unless you guys brought anything special.
Standard shipboard and military rations. Yeah.
Don't think we had anything. Well, it looks edible.
Did it have 3 letters on it? MRE by any chance?
Oh, would you look at that? It looks like some of it does.
Son of a bitch.
Woo-hoo.
I actually like the lemon chicken ones. I remember them as good.
I suppose it's better than starving.
I think most of you are probably familiar with this type of meal, as it's probably what you eat more regularly on the station. Just because it's cheap.
Just once, I'd like to eat something on a ship that actually contains some real food.
We had cake. It contained real food.
Hey, that was last week.
As your doctor, I have to remind you that each military emergency ration contains 3,000 calories, so be careful with them.
Well, that was actually like not even a day ago, actually, Steven. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
I'm exaggerating. What can I say?
Don't suppose you guys have got the system up and running, because otherwise this is going to be a really long journey.
Yep, we're almost there. Either that or we're about to be slagged by superheated plasma.
As far as I know, this is supposed to come off. Yeah.
Richard makes sure he kind of deactivates some of the messages so he doesn't hear what they're saying about taking bits apart and stuff.
It is supposed to come off, but it needs to go back in before you turn it on. That's
Yeah, Edward, do you know that either you did it right or when you turn it on, it's going to explode?
This is foolproof.
So, first basic check. We got any spare parts after we put it together again?
I think everything's accounted for.
Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. Okay, boss. There's only one way to do this. Let's start the auto start sequence, shall we?
And remember to put the shields back on.
As you start to boot up the drive, you'll note that I guess it would be Richard, considering you're piloting. You see that one of the airlocks on the top of the ship has been opened.
Miller?
We're kind of busy. We're kind of busy down here. Pal.
Yeah, someone just opened an airlock
You hear
on
the
the top of the ship.
You hear the distinct sound of a slide on a gun coming off.
Yeah. Shall I meet you there?
Only if we got somebody else to secure the bridge.
Oh, I'm heading up.
Oh, Mercy's with me, isn't she?
Yeah, she's in the bridge with you.
Yeah.
Are you
I
talking
can
only to
handle it
Miller?
if you
or is
guys
it
like.
everyone?
You can keep an eye on the bridge, can't you? Just don't press any buttons.
Attention all hands, we may have a problem.
No. It's not a problem. I've seen it on the sensors. I think it's a little kid.
A child?
Yeah.
I thought you said no one was on the sensors.
They weren't, but then when I made a wider search, they picked up on the outside of the ship.
You didn't think to tell us that before?
I was kind of trying to handle it myself, but then
Great. Let's go find.
So, were they on the hull and have come in, or were they in and have gone out?
I think they were out and then they came in.
Let's definitely go find. pops his helmet on, grabs his rifle, and heads out to where the airlock was.
Miller also does the same.
Be nice.
No promises.
It's just a kid, man.
She is a stowaway.
How'd you know they're a kid, Merce? You speak to him?
No, they were smaller.
Doesn't necessarily mean they're a kid.
Oh, what if they're a dwarf?
I haven't seen any midgets in the. Anyways, I think it's so, but you know, who knows?
Whatever, let's go and investigate.
Miller's using stealth.
Yep, ditto.
I will. If Mercy's alone on the bridge, there should be like a button that locks the door and that can't be opened from either side. So if it's not a kid, you might need to know where that button is.
I'll have made sure that Mercy knows how to lock the door before. And
So
if
make
there's,
sure to pay attention.
and if there's some way of making sure that the emergency exit on the bridge is locked down so it cannot be opened, I'll be doing that as well.
It's a lot of trouble for a kid, you guys.
What if it's not a kid?
We're alone.
Do they actually make vac suits for kids?
Yeah, they do.
But I'm guessing they're quite rare.
Yeah, they're more rare. It depends on.
Maybe
Like-
in 900 years they can resize themselves. Or maybe that would be too expensive.
No, but they are required to have some just because of safety reasons. So.
Head up there and check.
Sure. So it's just the two of you going to check. Anyone else?
How close would that airlock have been to where I was relative to the other two? Because they were in like the bridge
yeah.
and
Yeah, you would have been way closer because they were in the engine room.
I'm gonna go ahead there before they get there because they're gonna escalate things.
Okay.
Not going to escalate things at all.
You're bringing an assault rifle. That's an escalation.
And I'll bring an assault rifle to any situation. It's a perfectly good equalizer.
Well, you're not coming to my birthday.
She's got a point, pal.
Who says I want to go to her birthday?
I think you just dropped off the list.
All right. Are you stealthing or anything, Erica?
Nope.
Okay, then roll me investigation. Also, Edgy, give me another sensors check. It's not very difficult.
Hey, pal. 8 credits says it's a droid.
You could be right.
Edgy, give me a sensors check. Erica, you approach and you see what looks to be like well, you can't see anything specific because they have a vac suit on, but there's someone there they have like a box in their hand and they're plugging it into like a panel on the ship. Mercy, you see on your sensor array that there's something that's from that area that's suddenly giving off a signal. Do you want to try to jam it, or are you just going to let it through?
I'll jam it, just for good measure.
Okay, you jam the signal that's coming off. What do you do, Erica?
Well, they're doing something suspicious, so keeping the auto pistol ready. I'll just address. I don't remember inviting you onto my ship.
You see that the person in the back who sort of jump and stare at you. You can see sort of through the visor. It looks like a small girl, and she kind of has like a fearful expression on her face, and then she turns over and she presses the button like frantically on the box a few more times.
I'll head over, pull her away from the box.
Okay.
Now, what exactly are you doing here? 'Cause
I'm not doing anything.
it really looks like you are. And there's a guy coming here with an assault rifle who would have shot you on sight if he'd been the one who got.
You see like this terrified look on her face.
So
Character assassination.
you're dealing with me. So tell me what you're doing.
Nothing. I'm just plugging this box in.
Who sent you?
Nobody.
Well, then I guess we'll have to wait for the heavily armored security guy with, his paranoid itchy trigger finger.
Let's see. Do you want to try intimidation? I think that would be
Persuade?
persuasion would be it. She looks scared, but she doesn't give in. She just sort of shuts her mouth and averts her gaze from you. You can see the box has like a little display on it. It's reading like some numbers.
I'll just unplug that.
Very well. You go over to unplug it. Roll me actually mechanics real quick.
Oh, good.
Oh no. You reach over to unplug it and you get like a shock, and you can see it has some sort of system in place to stop people from taking it out. And you're not able to get it out. At least like every time you try to reach in and pull it out, it shocks you.
All right, how about you unplug this thing?
I can't do that. I'm sorry.
Look, I'm the one giving you a chance here. The others, they're not going to listen.
You better listen to her, asshole. Says Miller rounding the corner. I mean, the ship's not that big.
Yeah, I know. It's not. I was about to say. So yeah, you guys sort of show up and you see the girl sort of look over and.
Okay. What's going on here?
Who are you and what are you doing on this ship?
She just kind of like moves her eyes like down and to the left at the floor, and she doesn't say anything.
Okay, here's how it is, kid. Unless you want to take an unscheduled spacewalk without your helmet, you're going to start being a little bit more helpful.
Make me a persuasion.
Can I assist by, in some way, growling at her and backing him up?
Brandishing that assault rifle.
Yeah, there's an assault rifle that's pointing at her head, so that's kind of a good persuasion.
Sure.
Can I use leadership instead? Because I don't have persuade.
No,
Okay,
I would
well,
say it would have to be persuasion for this.
Well, I've got persuade, so I can have a try.
Go for it, pal.
Okay. No.
She looks nervous, mostly at the assault rifle. And she says, "Look, I was just doing what I was told."
By who?
She sort of averts her gaze and goes quiet for a second, and then Miller
takes her helmet and throws her in the airlock. He closes the door. Okay, he says on the comm panel. This is where we get serious.
She looks pretty she looks pretty terrified, and she says it was Mr. Blink.
You know,
Any
you
of us
should
know a
have,
Master Blake?
It's not Rog Blake, is it?
Plank.
Plank.
Plank. It better not be Roger Blake, otherwise I'm playing. Do we know this guy? We're all streetwise or something.
Oh, Mr. Plank. Yeah, I know who he. He's the tall guy that tried to follow us when we tracked. I'm guessing this girl through the air vents back on the station.
Oh yeah, that little asshole. I remember now.
And why is Plank getting you to attach whatever that is to our ship?
I don't know. He just tells me what to do.
And you do it, right?
Mhm.
Miller, I don't suppose you can detach that thing from our ship, can you?
Miller aims his gun at it. I can, pal, but
Yeah, but let's try not to do anything that might involve it blowing up.
okay, I'll try.
Make me mechanics to take it off if you wish.
Yep.
Millie, you managed to disconnect it. You have to unplug the wires in a certain order, but you're familiar with this from your time in the military.
Do I know what this thing is?
It looks like a signal beacon, but it's not capable of powering itself. It needs to be plugged into something.
Could we modify this to act as a false transponder?
No, it just like sends out a signal to tell someone where you are. If you plugged it up to a power source, though, you could just like space it and then have it activate later or something like that if you wanted to use it to throw off people.
Yep.
Sounds like a plan. Did Mr. Plank tell you to do anything else?
He told me just to wait.
Nice guy, this Plank.
Yeah. Dumps you right, ain't it?
He gets his orders from the boss.
Who's the boss?
You see her sort of avert her gaze.
I very openly put my hand on the controls for the outer airlock door.
Just remember,
Who's
Gibbo,
the
don't
boss?
press the red button. You know what that does, right?
Yeah, pop goes the head.
She sort of looks away, like she's definitely very frightened, but she doesn't actually say the name of the person.
Yeah, I think that'll do for now. If you want to just open this up and let her back in.
Which
I'll take it
door,
from-
outer or
Which
in?
door? Yeah.
I said,
I'm very tempted.
you
I'm really tempted to
psychopaths!
Don't worry, we're only kidding, Erica.
This is all on comms, right?
Yeah,
So,
I'm
Yeah.
not.
Yeah, you can hear this on your comms.
Yeah, see, I'm not so certain about that with the two of you. I can never quite tell.
You know, Erica, you're such an asshole. You think you're gonna space a kid? Come on. Let her back in.
I have zero doubt in my mind that you would do that, given the,
Richard
given the
actually
opportunity.
gives Miller a look along the lines of, yes, I'd space a kid.
Yeah, well, you would, pal. I wouldn't.
so, have we got a 10th member of the crew, or are we turning around?
Well, we've got a prisoner.
Bring them to the med bay. Let's make sure they haven't brought any diseases on board.
Yeah, and check her for transponders or any kind of bullshit that might tell someone where we are. And let's, I don't know.
I think if she
Go
had
over
one of
suit.
those, she wouldn't need the box.
True. But you never
Anyway,
know.
I'll bring her to the med bay.
I mean,
You
it's
take it back to whatever you were doing.
kind of a stupid plan. Dump the little girl on board. How'd you get on, kid?
I was on the outside of the hole.
Anybody else out there?
Well, I hope
Well,
that's
how would
true
you?
because we're going to go to QT drive at some point, and they're not going to like that.
Yep.
Mercy, did you spot any over the comms? Did you spot anyone else on our hull when you spotted this girl and didn't tell us about them?
I don't think so.
Okay, great. Right. You take
think
her
there-
to you take her to Med Bay.
That's what I
Steps
was
back.
doing. Now you go back and pilot the ship.
But if this girl causes any trouble, then I point straight out the airlock. That's where she's going. Opens the inner airlock so the girl can get out.
She slowly walks in.
Remember that, kid. You start causing trouble, you're going out the nearest airlock.
She just like nods with like the scared look on her face.
Right, now go with the nice bleeding heart liberal.
She's definitely a Republican voter.
So, yeah, you can successfully do that, Miller.
Okay.
She does. You do know, Miller, that she got in using the codes for the ship.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm changing everything.
Head
Oh,
back to the head back to the bridge.
Can the new code be 1337?
No. the new code is about 60 million digits.
I think it's a fractal encryption code, isn't it?
How do you type that on the little numpad?
You don't. Your computer turns it.
Mercy gets back on the comms and she's going to say, something is wrong with the sensors, you guys. I promise I didn't touch anything. It just started acting up.
You little bitch, says Miller. Where is that kid?
Yeah, bring that kid back. She's going out the airlock. I head towards the bridge as fast as I can.
All right.
What should I do? I'm not
Miller.
good with computers.
Just open the door and let me in.
Barry, you there? Still down in engineering?
She lets
Yep.
you in.
Just trying to
Barry,
avoid.
uncoupled junction 87.4 from the power grid. That's the sensor array. Let's take it offline before some asshole uses it to signal.
Right, will do. Head in there. Oh,
Barry, you go over and disconnect the power supply.
cool.
What exactly is happening with the sensors? Is it just going crazy or?
Yeah,
What?
it's like it's fritzing out and like the screen is constantly changing. When you click on something, it like will shift position, so you can't click on it.
Right, someone's just taken our sensors out. A little cow. We're as blind as bats out here, folks.
It's probably some sort of computer virus.
Yeah, Miller, you're the computer genius.
Yep, I'm on it, pal.
Yeah, make me computers.
I'm sorry. I should have told you guys earlier about the stowaway.
Yes, you should.
Miller, you run a check with the computers, and you're able to find like the low-level access and wipe out the program that's causing the issues, and everything seems to return to normal. You basically like restore the communications and sensor systems to an earlier like backup.
Okay, let's do a passive sweep. No active. I want to see if anybody's homing in on us.
Go for it, Mercy.
Gibbo, get ready to change course, pal.
I'm on it. I'm ready to do evasive maneuvers.
Very well. So can I get sensors from Mercy?
Oh, sure.
And Erica, you're taking the girl to Edward.
Yeah, but on the way, I'm just gonna talk to her off comms for a bit. Just be like, so, what's your name?
She's sort of diverts her gaze for a moment, as if she's thinking about this, and then she says, "It's Raya."
Raya?
Raya, yes.
Do you know who I am?
She looks up at you and then she nods.
Typical artist must make sure the person knows who they are before they start the interrogation.
Well, if you know, then what do you think? Do you like her music?
She nods again, but she definitely still seems quite frightened after.
Good, she should
Yeah,
be.
well, you know, I did tell you it'd be better just dealing with me, but no, you had to wait for those guys to get involved. And now they're going to be jumping at any excuse to get you blamed for everything that goes wrong around.
She sort of turns her head over and you can see on her neck there's a tattoo of something. Roll me streetwise. Seven is good enough for this. You can see it's sort of like a sun tattooed on her neck, and you know that that's like the mark of the Horizon crew.
They a gang?
Mm-hmm.
One of the people that owned the station before UAE stepped in.
Mr. Plank is one of them.
Yep,
This is off comms, by the way.
We know.
we know. Just
Just chiming in. Alright, good.
filling you in on details of background.
Just things
It's,
you'd
it's a
know.
small ship and it's just echoing down the corridor, that's all.
Edja, you can see on the sensors that there's like a small contingent of ships moving in your general direction, though they don't seem to have like a complete beat on you.
How many?
At least 4.
Okay, we have 4 guests, you guys, coming to our general direction.
Right.
How far out are they? Can I see that also?
Yeah, they're pretty far out. Like you have a large lead on them.
Okay, I'm going to start looking for somewhere to hide.
Very well.
Well, changing. First thing I do is definitely change direction of travel, so that if they're following off the track that they've got for the short period that beacon was signalling, they'll get that wrong, and then look for somewhere to hide.
Gotcha.
Wouldn't it be safer just to run?
This thing's not not powerful enough to run at the moment. Will fall apart.
All right. Well, they don't seem to have a beat on your exact location, as I mentioned. They're just. It seems they got at least something.
That's why I'm
Miller,
changing direction.
you check the turret's status. 2 of them are functional, though damaged, and 2 of them are just flat out unusable.
Hey, Gibbo, stay dark for now.
Okay. Well, do the minimum I can to change our direction without making any upping our signature at all. Assuming we've got basic manoeuvring thrusters. Fire a couple of those so it just changes direction.
It's the rate of change that actually will affect our signature. If you do it really, really slowly,
Yeah.
then we won't give off very much heat
Yeah.
or energy.
It's just basically if they did get a bead on where we were on our route, if I can change direction, that throw them off a bit.
Very well. You do your best to change course without upping your signature too much. As you sort of do so, Mercy, you also notice on the sensors that they don't seem to be like adjusting their course for this. The people following you don't.
They might be in luck.
Erica, so you're sort of still walking down the corridor towards the medical bay. Do you say anything else during this?
I'll ask her how old she is.
If
If she knows.
Yeah, she turns her head back towards you, and she holds up 8 fingers.
8, and you just snuck aboard a starship and basically just about sabotaged it.
She sort of just she just says, I just do what I'm told. Just plugged in the box.
Yeah, but not just any kid can do that. You're something kind of impressive.
She just sort of blushes a little bit and looks away.
Hey, you don't want to die, right?
she nods her head to this.
Well, neither do I. So, these friends of yours, these bosses, they don't seem to care much for your life.
She looks up to you and she says, If I betray them, then they're gonna kill me."
Yeah, that sounds about right. But what if they had to get through me first?
This does not seem. She just like she just kind of like rolls her eyes a little bit at this comment.
Come on, show me a little faith.
Miller comes down out of the turret nearby. Smart kid. He goes forward.
We'll say about this time you arrive sort of at the medical station.
All right, Doc, give her the checkup.
Okay then. Oh, who have we got here? Oh, if they're from the station, is there a chance that I would recognize?
Roll me streetwise.
11.
11. With an 11, we'll say you've seen her around. You know she hangs out in some of the sketchier parts of town. As far as other information, you probably would know her name. It's Rahia, and you've treated her once before. She got shot, and you never really found out the details of how.
Got shot?
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ. Is she really 8 then? Or is it a lie?
No, she's 8.
Oh.
Again, it's kind of a rough station, so.
Dirtbag school's in session, Doc.
Oh, right.
Awesome.
I didn't expect to see you here.
She kind of looks up at you, obviously a little surprised, and she says, "Same to you, Doc."
How's the arm?
She sort of puts her arm over it a little bit, and then she gives you like a small smile, and she says, "Better."
Well, you don't want to be doing this kind of work if you want to avoid that kind of thing happening again.
He just kind of goes back to not looking at you in the eye anymore.
Well, I pat the medical bed thing and say, up here and we'll run a routine scan.
He sort of gets onto the bed. Make me medical.
Okay. Does this bed have its own, like, computer assistance thing?
Yeah. It's not very difficult.
Also 11.
Also an 11. So you kind of scan over her. She definitely, it looks like she has some sort of like flu. You can actually see her nose is running a little bit. And then you run into this problem a lot of times with people on the station. You can tell she's like malnourished.
Is this like a future where we can cure the flu, or is it just...
Oh,
Just gonna
you
have to
can
put up
cure
with
it. You can give her some medicine and pretty much cure it.
Looks like you've got a bit of the old flu there.
He nods her head.
You haven't been eating as much as you should.
Called starvation, Doc.
I look over at Erica and say, "You want to break out a ration for our new friend?"
No, the airlock's so much better. Wouldn't wish that on anyone. Not the MRE.
Shut
Only
up, you! And I close the door.
I can bring her over to the mess hall, introduce her to the rest of the band if she'd be interested.
She nods. Also, Edward, you notice the tattoo on her neck, the back of her neck.
I imagine that wouldn't be so much news to me, though. If
No, you've seen it before on her. You know that the Horizon crew mark a lot of the kids who work with them. Even a lot of their, well, obviously a lot of their gang members too.
I'll just give her an injection for the flu, and then Erica will take you to the mess hall, I think.
Okay, you take her off. Mercy. After a short while, you notice on the sensors that the ships sort of take a turn and begin heading not back, but towards the station. In fact, you start noticing a lot of ships moving in the direction of the station.
Uh-oh.
What does uh-oh mean?
Yeah. You remember those ships that were trying to like come at us?
Yeah?
Now they're heading towards the station in numbers. Are they gonna take the place? Like, is that sort of ship power they're having?
What kind of numbers?
Yeah, what kind of numbers?
I'm gonna whisper you.
Yep. And yep, they have the numbers. They can take the station easy. You guys.
Not sure there's anything we can do about it.
I think that might be the reason Cassandra kind of skipped out.
What makes you say that, Cupcake?
Well,
Just-
because at the sensors again, I saw a little ship going about away from the station, which had Cassandra's signal on it.
Yeah, I got the idea of that ship actually. Okay.
It is weird though. There seems to be multiple gangs banded together, almost like a small army of mercenaries.
If there's a hostile fleet headed to the station, shouldn't we tell someone somehow?
On the dock.
If we can, yep.
Where's the nearest comm array?
Not too far from your current location.
Is the laser point to point working so we don't have to transmit in a sphere?
Yeah.
Okay. Who's got comms?
I think I do. I'll just check.
Is
my
it
list.
electronics comms?
Electronics comms level 1.
I've got a total modifier of 2 with comms then because I have electronic 0. What's your mod?
What if it's education? I've also got +2. Otherwise, it's just 1.
There we go then. Okay, I'll aid you. I'll align the array and send you the ID of the ship because I actually logged the ID of the freelancer that our dear friend left on. Maybe if Mercy gives the sensor data to you, you can also include it in the packet and then alert UEE.
Sure, I'll share the sensor details.
Make sure you use the directional array. Doc, don't want everybody hearing us.
Here, make me comms.
Right. So, electronics is it education, and are there any modifiers?
Not unless you want to take extra time.
What would be the step up of time?
Probably like an extra, we'll say like 10 minutes.
Is that time kind of life and death kind of 10 minutes or?
I mean, that's up to you guys.
How long is it going to take for this pirate fleet to arrive at the station?
Probably not too long.
Okay, I will not take extra time then. I'll just roll with my +2 and hope things go to plan.
Fingers crossed.
10.
10. You successfully sent the communication to the comm array, but you've from your time in the military, you know what's going on. Your signal is not being passed on with a 10. It's good enough to tell this. A lot of times, pirates will interfere with the comm arrays. It's an easy fix, but you have to have physical access to the system.
I've uploaded the packet to the comms array, but it's jammed. It's not being sent out onto the network.
Yep, standard procedure. Take the goddamn comm array offline.
Is there any way to bypass it?
Not
I'll
unless
let
we
you
fly
know.
up to it.
That's right. And there's going to be some asshole hanging around waiting for somebody to do that too.
Damn it.
What about that signal buoy the kid brought on? Can we change what it's broadcasting and then just kick it out the airlock?
I'm already on it, Doc. I've got the missile that I wanted with a transponder on. I'm going to hook this up and hopefully draw the pirates. I'm going to make them think some liner or some bullshit is in trouble and get them away from the station.
Can we point the laser array at Lagos?
You could try. Oh, well, if you're sending it to Largos, you'd probably have to use just the normal array for something like that.
Would I know if there are any specific military channels that you can send a message to that wouldn't need the comm array?
No, because everything goes through like a comm array in this area. So
Don't matter what channel you use, pal. You send out a broadband and everyone's going to know where the hell we are.
Miller, you get the device connected. If you want to change what it actually is broadcasting, that's going to be computers to reprogram it.
Yep. I don't know whether to just leave it as it is because maybe the assholes will come out if they think the
I mean,
signal.
they were looking for that signal, so.
Exactly. I'm gonna fly the. I'm gonna program the missile to accelerate to maximum speed out of the ecliptic plane of the star system.
Gotcha.
Okay, points away, asshole.
So you fire it. Mercy, as you're watching the sensors, you do see like not all the pirates, but there is a detachment that follows the beacon as it starts to activate.
Can I use my computer link to program the missile to explode when they get close?
You specifically said it didn't have a warhead, so.
That's true, yeah, damn it. Damn, that would have been so much fun.
When we fire a missile, is there a little klaxon and alert throughout the ship?
I doubt it.
Oh, I just thought it'd be amusing if they're sitting in like the mess hall getting a ration out and then it goes beep beep, missile away.
Why on earth would they do? No. Why
Um,
would they do that?
Well, I think everyone in the ship probably would have heard a missile leave the thing because they're pretty. So anyone who's familiar with the sounds of a ship probably would know. Otherwise, they just hear the noise. So I would say
you managed to
Edward,
drive some over now, right?
Edward, and I think Richard and Miller. I don't think Barry served military at all.
Nope.
So just those three would hear. They would recognize the missile sounds.
It's only pulled some of them away. It hasn't pulled all of them.
Nope.
Yep.
Well, maybe we give the people a fighting chance.
That's my squad on that station. Damn it.
My home was there.
At least your mother isn't.
Well, that's true, but it's
Right.
home, you know?
Thank you, Miller.
Pleasure, kid. Still, it doesn't matter whether we know the people on that dirtbag station. They're still people, whether we know them or not. I'm guessing the doc knows a good few of them. Wish I could figure out some way to get back there.
Well, we can get back there fairly easy. This thing will get there.
This thing is We'll just get boarded or shot up.
You do know they're more likely to board you. You also know the Horizon crew are not known for taking prisoners.
Can
Oh,
we?
great. Can we type down the station and tell them that the attack's coming? Because if they buckle up and evacuate, maybe they can start blasting. Maybe they can just detonate the station when the pirates get on it.
You can try to.
Do we think the Ray's got the range?
Probably. The station will know where you are, though, so you don't know if it would be a risk, because if the pirates already have access to that system, it would reveal your location.
I'll put I can put a virus in the message that will screw the entire system.
Yeah, you
Miller,
can.
what if we just sent like a general broad signal out and then just went dark again? By the time they got here, we'd be somewhere else.
Couldn't we just kick QT out of here if we need to?
Yeah, they can QT too. Although in QT we're faster than they are.
And they don't know where we're going.
QT trails can be followed, but they're probably not going to follow you across the galaxy or anything.
How long till the pirate fleet reaches the station?
Probably another 5 minutes. I will say that the station has gone silent on your sensors, Mercy. There's no signals coming out of it anymore.
Inside job.
Aw.
Of course.
As far as I can see, the only thing we can do is have the UEE send reinforcements. And the sooner they get that message, the more people they can probably save.
There might not be any people to save by the time they came.
There's a whole bunch of them on the planet in this system, so it shouldn't be. It's not like they have to wait days, is it?
But they have to gather their numbers also. It's like a small army out there.
Well,
Hey, I got an idea.
Do share.
Or don't.
No time. Retest the point-to-point comma ray on the station. Give it your best shot, and be ready.
Ready for what?
I'm going to send something to the station, I think.
Mercy's gonna come over and give you back your hat. You need all the luck you can get.
No kidding, Cupcake.
redirecting point to point to Op Station Debian.
So what are you going to do exactly, Millie?
Could I squirt a package to basically send a virus to the station, change all the access codes, and jam all the doors?
You could most certainly try.
Possibly take out life support and the ability to dock as well in certain sections of the station, so that basically it makes it much harder for attackers.
Writing something that complex would probably take a while. You could just write like something that would just like fuck up the system in general, not like anything that specific.
If you can only do one thing, I would suggest making it so that all of the doors emergency lock.
Okay, that's what I'm doing.
Okay, make me computers. I mean, you can do more. It's just you don't write a virus in like 5 seconds.
I'll write a virus to do that, and then I'll also talk to Gibbo, and we'll use an encryption in the virus so that the security personnel can override it, but no one else can.
Okay.
Computers, here we come. Don't fail me. Yes.
Oh my.
The hat worked.
Say you send in this signal with the virus, and you believe that it would be successful. Obviously, you can't see the result of it, so.
I think we've done all we can, people. Let's get on with
Yeah.
our mission. As soon as we find a working comm array, we'll point to point again and send this data, and let's hope the UAE Navy can clean it up. And your guys, of course, Gibbo.
Well, they're the ones that be going in.
Well, there's some of them already on the station. Maybe splitting those assholes up into 2 groups and giving them a bunch of obstacles so they have to cut through every door. That'll slow them down. Maybe your guys can do something.
And my guys will definitely be doing something. Just wish I was there with them.
Yeah. I know what you're saying, pal.
How do you guys continue on your way out to the jump point?
Yeah, I think we're going to initiate QT now.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's the only thing we really can do.
You initiate QT.
God, I hope this thing holds.
All hands, prepare for quantum jump. Secure stations. Mercy, make sure the sensor arrays retracted. All systems ready. Board is green.
And stick your
Alrighty.
head, and stick your head between your legs and kiss your ass goodbye if this don't work.
Who gets
Way
to
the
push the big blue
future
button?
Well, I'm the pilot.
That makes it your fault, pal.
I'm not the guy that fixed it. I'm just the guy that pressed the button. If someone wants to come and do the astrogation so we know where we're going,
That's my job, pal.
yep, then it's your fault if we slam into
Yep.
something.
Astrogation is going to be important.
Oh no.
You'll do so with, I believe, a +2. Yeah, it's +2. Thanks.
It's an easy astrogation check, isn't it?
It is, and you have +2 from the fact that you're in a Carrick.
Oh, that makes it almost an auto success.
Almost.
Yeah, don't tempt it. Don't tempt it.
Buttocks clenched with fear.
I'm just going to add 2 to the modifier because of the carrot.
Everything crossed.
Yep.
And it's easy. We've made it with an effect of 6.
Yep. Legit. You guys launch into QT. The ship jostles and shakes. You see actually Rahia falls to the ground at this. The rest of you manage to keep your footing though.
What does it look like? Is it all blue and special?
If you look out some of the windows, it has like blue streaks flying around the ship. But the whole thing is shaking. Barry, you weren't expecting this. And it comes to your mind, can you make me mechanics just to do basic maintenance on some of this patchwork?
Oh God.
Keep it together, girl.
No
Keep it
pressure.
together.
I'm the one trying to keep it together. Oh God. Oh, thank God.
Barry, you managed to go around and like tighten a few screws here and there that were falling a little loose, but she manages to stay together for the journey. And you head out into your first jump point. and begin heading towards your first rendezvous point.
Oh, God.
You got all religious all of a sudden, Barry.
I never said I wasn't.
And for now, there is a little bit of peace for all of you.
Hey, quick question. See that small army of pirate ships you mentioned? Did
Yeah.
it look like any of them were from the Rattlesnakes?
There were many of them together, but I don't think I
Roll-
got any specific ones.
Roll me streetwise, Mercy.
I don't have that, so
Well, you can just make it, but I think it's at -2 of social.
-3, I think.
You can attempt it.
Yeah.
Streetwise is social, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah, you have no clue.
Oh my God.
I really can't tell anything other than the horizons. I didn't bother to check on them.
Okay, just a thought. Fair enough.
Sorry.
I don't think they're exactly broadcasting who they are.
Again, if you had a better streetwise, you might have been able to tell based on their signatures, but it would have to be knowledge that you had beforehand. Again, like Miller said, they're not broadcasting it. So. All of you will have a few days, however, in QT.
Spend a lot of it glaring at a certain little girl.
Here they are for Gibbo.
Be nice. That's
Well,
why
doing
the
very-
creators
doing-
don't like you.
Doing very obvious things like cleaning his gun while she's watching.
Oh my god.
I mean, I don't know if she'd noticed too much because we're probably just having a blast with her. Talking to her about stuff, maybe playing bits of music for her.
Oh, he'd make sure she'd noticed. It'd be done specifically when periods when you guys aren't around or whatever. He'd wander into
God.
wherever she is and just sit there and deliberately mess around with the big rifle in front of her.
Guys, I think we should not let Gibson alone with that child.
You think?
We shan't.
Good. Just making sure everyone's on the same page here. That Gibson ain't trustworthy around kids.
Nah, Gibson's fine. He just wants to scare her.
Some of my squad's on that base, on that station.
Yeah, and what do you think threatening her is gonna do? You think she's the one who ordered that strike?
She's part of the people doing it. Guilt
By choice?
association. I don't care. She's part of the team, of the people doing it.
Well, not anymore. We're blasting off out of there. We're miles away from now.
You mean we're going to be taking her all over the place with us?
Well, never said you had to. Soon as we're done with you, maybe we'll bring her with us.
Bleeding hot, bloody liberals.
You're not very good at making friends, are you, Gibson?
I have quite a few friends. Problem is, they're all fighting for their lives right now.
Don't worry, pal. We gave him a fighting chance. Best we could do.
I know. It just pisses me off I'm not there with them. Fine, if you don't want me to bother the kid, just make sure she stays away from me.
I don't think we'll have trouble with that one.
She seems to keep her distance from Gibson.
Like I said, smart kid.
Children seem to have a natural survival instinct.
So I think there's probably one thing we might all need to be clear about is when it comes down to it, who says what, who's giving the orders.
Yep, you're right. You're right, Doc.
Like you, Miller. You're the one with the Navy officer training.
Hang on. Why does anyone have to give orders? We're already taking orders as it is.
Because sooner or later, they're going to make some hard choices, and somebody's got to carry the can for that, pal. Can't do it by committee. Though, let's do it by committee if we can.
Richard just shakes his head at that.
Doc, where's your rank?
Well, I've seen your service record, and as far as I can remember, both have the same rank.
Sub-lieutenant, yeah?
That's the one.
Yep, but I was line flight. What were you?
Well, was the medical officer, but I'm quite happy if we are considering you the commander of the ship.
Yep, for now. Let's see how it shakes out. So, first directive. Our little guest, I don't mind her being on the ship, as long as she's watched at all times. By a responsible adult.
I take it
Sure
by
we can
that you mean not me.
No, you're fine.
Oh,
As long as you let her, don't let her touch anything or bullshit you.
Or have a free run of the ship.
Yeah, just remember, this kid was probably spying on me and Gibbo in the air vents because we chased a signal down. That's how we met Mr. Plank.
Someone who had to be quite small to get through the air vents.
Yeah, incidentally.
Kid
yeah,
size.
Yeah, it was her. Incidentally, Erica, next time you're talking to your little groupie here, maybe you could ask her what she heard when she was in the air vent and why the hell she was there. Was it by chance or did they send them? I just think you might get a better response than me and Gibbo.
Oh, I don't know. 5 minutes in a locked room with me, and I'm sure she'll be spilling her guts.
literally, no doubt.
Yeah, cut it. Yeah, cut it, pal.
No. If I'm interrogating someone, I'm not likely to try and kill them.
Gibson,
Not
you're
until
not
after
interrogating
you've
an
learned.
8-year-old child. Especially not one that's my patient now.
Thanks, Doc.
As far as I'm
Look,
concerned, she's an enemy combatant.
if anyone has streetwise, they can roll it here.
Did you say it was with social?
Yes,
Yep.
Okay.
I believe so. Probably not Barry, but Erica and Edward, you would both know that like someone at her age probably didn't even really know much. Like, I mean, like she probably knows some things, but obviously, like when she says like they just told me to do this, she's probably telling the truth there. They're not
look.
exactly sharing their grand plans with kids.
Look, I'll ask her what she might have passed on if I get a chance, but she's not really going to be a bank of information about the enemy.
Even if she did know something important, she probably doesn't know that it's important. They're just kids. They have no parents. They're not getting fed, and these gangs say, here's a bit of food and a bit of shelter, and occasionally we won't hit you.
Heart bleeds for her.
Come on, Gibbo. that doesn't mean we trust her. This kid's scared. Okay?
No,
Tell him what she's gonna do.
Steve, you're far away from your mic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's cut the kid a break, but that doesn't mean we trust her. Miller isn't saying this in front of her. You know, she's scared. And these guys are the only life she's ever known. When the chips are down, she's gonna go with what they say every time. Can't afford that.
At the very least, we got one thing. We're out of range of her receiving any more orders for now.
Maybe you can make sure she doesn't follow any orders anymore.
Well, I'm gonna do my best.
I kind of suspect they sent her here as a suicide mission. Weren't expecting her back.
That can easily, we're quite easily able to oblige them in that if you want.
Also,
Oh,
now
you-
you're doing favors for the enemy. Look, I'll worry about the child. You worry about flying the ship.
Got a deal, Erica?
Fine by me.
Okay, Gib. Gotta get ready for the first tank drop. Gonna meet a starfarer. Let's make sure this one goes without a hitch, yeah?
Will do.
As you fly and you make your way over, I do need some basic maintenance and whatnot on the ship.
Yep.
Anyone with mechanics or engineering?
I'll just the only thing I can do is make sure.
Woo!
Oh my!
That, blimey.
How about for Barry?
Mechanic. Are we taking our time? Sorry.
I mean, you can take your time if you want to. Again, this is over like a few days, probably.
Oh, taking my time.
Very nice.
Yay!
Did you want to do engineering at all?
Just general engineering.
You just like basic maintenance, not anything critical. But again, the ship is sort of rackety, so. Wow, you guys did quite well. Sure, Erica, can you give me, I believe it would be your performance, is that, I don't remember the skill off the top of my head right now.
Art performer?
Yeah, art performer, but do it with education. I don't know what you'd normally do it with, but education for this.
Okay. I mean, doesn't matter too much for me because they're all the same.
Oh, yeah.
Would I have a modifier considering I'm taking, as much time as needed?
Well, if you're teaching someone music, I would say I wouldn't consider this taking time for teaching
Fair
someone.
enough.
So.
Yeah, because it takes a while anyway. Sure.
What do you know? I thought there was something wrong with the ship's alarms, but it turns out the kid's playing something.
So your teaching isn't the best, Erica, but you do notice she has some natural talent for it.
Hey, tell you what, Rahia. We don't have a drum kit. But we are in need of a drummer.
Uh,
Lost our old one a while back, but maybe we can pick one up sometime. And if you're good enough, you could join us.
She kind of looks up to you and she says, I don't think someone like me could ever do that.
Well, step one is believing you can. Just trust me for now.
He kind of nods her head. As you are all doing your maintenance, do you do anything else during that time?
I guess I'll try and ask about that time she was spying on Miller and Gibbs. Try and pick up what she might have heard and passed on.
Okay. As you sort of go and speak to her, she will actually admit to you, sort of in confidence, that basically she heard everything and that she had been ordered to listen in on you guys because they knew that you were involved in this Carrick business.
Interesting. So what you're saying is that these guys are probably after us because Miller and Gibson were chatting about this out in public.
She doesn't really know enough details to really answer that.
Well,
properly.
that was more to myself.
Okay.
Yeah, she just happened to be in the air vents to myself.
Yeah. But honest, I didn't know this deal was already going down.
Cass hasn't sold us out much.
Never find that bitch. Guess what's going to happen to her?
What's Rai's surname?
She doesn't have one. In
So what
fact,
happens
she
when
does.
you have-
I was gonna say she doesn't even have like an ID in the system.
Yeah, that's what happens when you don't have a family. You don't have a family name.
While we're in space, I'm going to try and write an anti-intrusion program so that in between maintenance shifts, just so to harden our system so it makes it harder for someone to take the ship over.
Do we have a list of ship facilities? Or rooms and things?
I believe so. You have like a few different rooms. There's like captain quarters, and then there's probably like a crew quarters. I don't think there's more rooms than that, but I would have to double check the schematics. But they don't have a full schematic up yet, I don't think.
We don't. However, I did post a picture if you just scroll up a little bit. I posted pretty much everything that's on the character that's known.
I guess for our purposes, we'll say there's enough where each of you can have your own. Each player character can have their own room, and then there'll be like a shared crew area for Eric. Like then there's like a main crew area for Erica and her band, I guess. Just to keep things simple. That's not necessarily lore friendly, but we'll just say that for our
Okay.
purposes. Yeah, exactly.
Well, since we don't have a rover, while we're doing this traveling, I might think of asking a few people to help me make the garage into a little common room.
Yeah, I'll help you with that.
Oh, we can set up a bar and you can pretend to order beers.
I will mention the that room is. I mean, you're free to do with it what you wish, but it is a hangar, so like it doesn't have like a. It doesn't have like a or I shouldn't say like a hangar, like a cargo room. Like it doesn't have like an airlock on the room. Like it's one door from.
I've nailed the bottles to the bar just for when the hangar opens.
I mean, it's not supposed to open in space, is it? Because it's meant to have a car in it.
It can open in space depending on what you're using it for. Again, the rover isn't in every model of the ship. It can also just function as a cargo bay.
It's a just-in-case policy.
And checking the details that, as Stephen said, he put up, it does say that there are crew quarters and relaxation area for the crew.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there is.
So, obviously somewhere where we can hang out.
Yep.
Might be easier to set up the bar there. But good idea, though.
Barry, there's plenty of alcohol on board.
Excellent.
Where did that come from if it wasn't Barry?
You find it in one of the crates. There's like a bunch of like whiskey in one of them.
Yeah, can you guys search the cargo, make sure that they didn't leave anything behind?
Yeah, check what these
Bite us
crates
on the
are.
ass. Yeah.
Yeah,
See inventory.
as you go to do so, you see Mercy going through a few of the crates.
Oh, hello.
One of these crates of alcohol is empty. Mercy!
Glad you've been quiet.
Wondered why she'd been not saying anything.
Glug, glug, glug. You could have at least had me in on the deal. What you get?
That's my
mean,
girl.
You can roll me an investigation if you wish.
You better not have taken the rum.
Well, there's nothing alcoholic in here, you guys. If that's what you're looking for.
I don't know how to think about that.
I think it's called a lie.
It is not. Excuse me?
You know,
You're calling me a liar now?
kiddo, when you say stuff like that, you always look to the left.
Particularly when you say it just exactly in that manner.
Well, I have this option.
So do I.
Just for the lol, I'm gonna roll. Well, I guess there aren't any alcohol in here. After all.
Mercy keeps like a good poker face, but
But my recon skill is just as good.
yeah, Gibson and Miller have been around the block, specifically with you a few times. They know your game. If they had just met you, they might not have realized you were lying, but because they're already familiar with your normal patterns of behavior.
Barry, however, completely believes her.
I found a crate of tweezers, okay? I was kind of hoping to keep them for myself, but
Miller
catch out
pats,
the bag now.
Miller
Tweezers.
pats Barry on the back. Sucker.
Also, something else.
What?
It's a drug.
It's a what?
It's a drug.
You
Called-
opened the secret compartment that we're supposed to not know about.
I mean, I was, like walking around minding my own business, and suddenly there was this.
Minding my own business.
While sticking your nose into everything.
I mean, come on. Like, this. It's not like there is anything else to do around the ship. There is no TV. There is nothing.
Miller and Barry look back at the conduits and wires hanging all over the ship. We look at each other and we're like, son of a bitch. Nah, there's nothing to do.
Nothing to do at all, honest.
Oh, how I feel so bad for you, having nothing to do.
I mean, I can try to practice my medicine if one of you were to, get unfortunate.
I think I'll go and eat an MRE.
Yeah, I've got some wires to take out and then put back in.
Urgent business on the bridge. See ya.
Oh,
You can't
I'll
use the
be-
bridge as your excuse. That's my excuse.
I'll be kind. I promise, Gibson. Don't go.
Gibson's heading.
Check on that
Gibson's going
arm.
to find the nearest gun turret and hide in it for a while.
Do you show them any of the drugs you found?
I haven't. They went away, so I guess they're mine now.
Yeah, well, what drugs?
Gibson at the word drugs comes back into the room.
Don't know what you mean.
What do you want to know? Oh, Gibson, you've taken my drink from me back at my house. I remember these things.
You weren't allowed to have your drink. You were on duty.
Yes, but that doesn't mean that you could have it. No drugs for you.
I don't
Get
want
lost.
the drugs. I just wanted to know what drugs we were being made to carry without our knowledge. How screwed were we?
Oh, I don't know.
Yes, you do. What drugs are they?
Oh, but will I tell you? Let me think. Nope.
Well, if you don't tell me, you'll tell Miller.
Why?
Miller, get down here and get your woman to stop telling us what these drugs are.
Didn't you hear? He's busy on the bridge. Urgent business. So, Mercy.
Oh, Gibson, you look a little sick there. What
She
did
gets
you
the
do?
assault rifle pointed straight at her. You keep away from me.
Oh no, that is an escalation.
I
I
am not
need
allowing you
to
anywhere near me.
practice, Gibson.
Okay, Gibson, get out of here.
Hi, Barry. Are you sick by any chance? He kind
Well,
of looks at you with like.
it depends-
Will be by the time she's
eyes.
finished with you.
It depends what you mean by sick.
I mean, is there anything wrong with you?
Oh yeah, there's
If
something
there
wrong
isn't,
with me, all right.
Maybe
But I don't
can
know-
find something.
I don't know if it can be fixed by drugs,
Oh,
but there's no harm in trying. What have you got?
if you want to see, I can administer a dose.
Can I magically appear and just say no?
I mean, you're probably hearing this over the comms.
It'll be on the comm system. You'll be able to hear this.
Same to you, Erica, if you wanted
No,
to
I
show
thought
up.
this was in the same room, and I just told Gibson to get out of here with his threats.
You can always leave Rahia with one of your bandmates if you want to get involved.
Why is everybody trying to take things from me?
Well, if I can turn up, I'm going to turn up.
You take my patients.
Can we come up
you
with
take
this?
my potential patients. You take my drugs. You take my tweezers.
We need to come up with a way of figuring out who's actually in the bloody scenes.
Just need a little box. We just need a series of boxes.
Unless you say so, generally everything will be on the comm system.
Well, not if you don't want it to be on the comm system. I suppose you could just say, I'm now talking to someone face to face for once.
You just mention if you're talking privately. Otherwise, I'm going to assume everyone can hear it over the comms. That's the easiest way.
Okay. Okay, private chat. What have you got, Mercy? What's on offer?
Oh, privately? Give me your arm and you can find out.
You see her sort of lift her jacket up, and there's various needles with a thick, black, inky substance inside of them.
That does not look pleasant.
It's not a kid we need to watch out for. It's our bloody friend in the mountain park.
Who said that? Oh, it's the comm. I don't know what you're talking about, Edward. Off. Right. Hey, do you know what that is? Have any idea what it is? Can you run checks on it?
Yeah, I have some idea.
Could you please tell me, dear?
No. Do you want it or not?
This is a very cruel trick you're playing. I don't know what I'm getting into here. Hey, I'll tell you what. You tell me what's in them, and I'll, we can play a little prank. You remember when we were going to do one of them on the ship?
Oh, do tell. I'm
Oh,
listening.
no. You tell first.
Well, considering that I have what you want, so I think I'm good at not telling you. Why do you want to know so bad anyways?
You mean, why do I want to know what I'm putting in my bloody body?
I mean, you don't have to.
Yeah, but I want to.
Well, then, you have to tell first.
All right, I haven't got a prank yet. I'll think about it, and I'll get back to you.
All right, I'll be here.
God damn
Well,
it.
not like I can go anywhere, so.
Right, I've got to think of a prank. Maybe I'll be able to think of one while I'm pulling out those wires.
In other
You had
news, the crate of food that Mercy had some stuff that's a little better tasting, including a few bags of coffee.
Woo.
Woohoo.
Anything else you guys are doing during the journey?
I would like to talk with Miller. On the private. you would find him probably somewhere.
I'm
And,
working. I'm working on the port side, size 5 turret. Hey, Mercy, how's it going? Oh,
Hi, Joseph. I have
hand me
like,
that wrench
see-
there. Right?
oh, which one
that,
is it?
That one.
Is it the,
No, that one. Thanks.
this one?
That's the one.
Okay.
So what
thank-
can I do for you, Cupcake?
Well, you're not gonna like what I'm going to say.
Oh,
Yeah. About the station, just as we were leaving, I kind of picked out the whole security force being overrun by the pirates. I don't think there are survivors anywhere.
okay. Well,
I know that Gibson has some friends over there. I couldn't tell him. I figured you guys are friends. Maybe you can with the proper language.
oh, okay. This is not good.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. Thanks, Cupcake. Thanks for letting me know. Anything else I should know about while we're talking here, face to face?
You want some drugs?
Hell, I'll try anything once except barn dancing and incest. But what the hell are they?
I know. Drugs. Blood. In syringe. Goes into your veins.
Whoa. This isn't college anymore, Cupcake. I'm fixing a rather delicate piece of equipment here. Kind of need my senses about me. Got any idea what this stuff is?
Yeah, I have some idea.
If you want, you can roll me. It would actually be streetwise. With
Yeah,
I would say
told you
education.
It wasn't blood.
When she shows it to me.
Yeah, it'd be streetwise and education.
It begins.
It's the widow.
Whoa! Where the hell did you get that?
In the crates. They were in the crates.
Were those the crates marked "Do not open or we'll kill you"?
I did not see such signs anywhere.
look?
I did not see what I did not see.
Miller puts down the wrench and goes arm in arm with Mercy and sort of tickles her until we get down the hallway to where the drugs are, and then we look. I'll see if there's any tamper seals or anything.
No, they're in like food container bags.
Yeah, they were inside the food.
There's not like a lot though. There's not like a full shipment of them or anything.
So let me guess.
Just a little bit.
You got
It-
hungry, huh?
It seems more like Cassandra left you a gift than like anything nefarious.
Oh, come on. You know it's party drug. Everybody had
yeah,
those black things.
I know
back
what
in
it
the
is,
college.
Nurse, but listen, girl. You can't trust this Cassie. If you want to take that stuff, that's fine. Just get the doctor run it through a bioanalyzer, make sure she didn't put anything else in there. You know. I don't want you
can
dropping
do
down.
that myself. But
Yeah,
where's the
okay.
fun in that?
If you want that kind of fun, Cupcake, I've got a revolver somewhere. We can play Russian roulette.
Can we now?
Yeah, with no bullets.
Yeah, fine. I got your point. I'll be nice. Don't worry.
You're always nice, Cupcake. Just a little crazy.
Well, that's not a lie. But it's fine. kind of crazy, right? Right?
Sure is, kid, says, kissing her on the head. Puts her hat on, puts his hat on her, wiggles her ears. The right kind of crazy.
That's good to hear. Good luck with your friend. And she kind of skips ahead.
Whoa, yeah, I'm gonna need it. He's just taking the hat back.
No! You gave it to me.
I'll get you one when we're next off station, kid. This is my
One
lucky
just
hat.
like
I
this.
need it.
Well, try not to get shot, you know? Maybe take the gun away from him first. And
Me and Gibbo go way back. He ain't gonna shoot me. The kid, on the other hand, yeah, that could be interesting.
oh, maybe we shouldn't tell him then, like, at all, until the girl is out of our.
That would be real nice and convenient, and there's no way I'm doing it. Gibbo's my friend. He has a right to know, and yeah, we have a code. You don't do that to your buddies.
Well, you do have a code. Okay then, I'll leave it to you.
Thanks, Cupcake.
Bye.
Hey, and keep an eye on that kid. You're even sneakier than she is, so I'm guessing you get the drop on her, but I don't know. Maybe they told her to do some other stuff on the off chance she survives, so just keep an eye on her for me, will you?
Okay.
Oh, and Mercy,
Yeah.
how sure are you about? I mean, what'd you actually see on the, or hear, or pick up?
Well. One second. I'm pretty sure if that's what you're asking. They were completely annihilated.
Okay.
Mm.
This isn't a
Some
trick, is it?
You think I would lie to you?
I wouldn't say lie, but you're not above a practical joke or two. It's just this one really wouldn't be funny.
No, this is not a funny joke.
Okay. Had to check. Watch the kid for me, huh? And just tell me if you find anything else in that stuff in the crates, okay? Thinking they might have I'm thinking they might have put a tracker in there or something. I don't know.
I'll keep an eye out. Okay.
Miller goes to find Erica and the girl.
Probably find us all in the mess hall, just
It's like a crew resting
practicing
area.
our instruments, kind of working on a new.
Hey, Erica,
Hmm.
how's it going?
Better than being stuck on the station.
Amen to that. Have a word with you for a minute, kind of in private.
Sure. Shall get up and follow Miller out of the room? Comms off.
Got some bad news to deliver to Gibbo. Mercy picked up on something just as we were leaving the station. I'm thinking it might make things a little hot for the girl, so maybe you could keep a even closer eye on her than you have been. Know what I'm saying?
Yeah, sure. I mean, you know him better than I do. You know, if you do anything crazy, then
Nah, he wouldn't do anything crazy, but he might get a little hot under the collar.
Well, that's fine. Just, once I don't have to go throw myself in between an assault rifle and a small child, we should be all good.
Well, if you do, I'll be right there with you.
I'll
I
keep her close by.
Nice. I appreciate you looking after her. I'm sorry, I've been busy, didn't have time to see that.
It's fine. I mean, she didn't ask for that.
No. I've seen station rats like her before. It's not exactly like they sign up for it.
Yeah, I think Carla might have been the same way one time, long time ago. Before.
Is this a fighter?
Yeah, that one.
She helping you getting through to the girl?
Yeah, they're getting on real fine. They all seem quite fond of her.
Yeah, I'm sorry about the airlock thing. I was just I didn't really lose it. I was just wanted to scare the kids, so she told us what the hell was going on. I was worried we wouldn't be able to unplug the damn thing. It was going to send our location. Sorry about that. I should have apologized earlier on.
I get it. And for what it's worth, I'm sorry for Gibson and whatever bad news you're delivering.
Yeah, I appreciate it. He's yeah, him and I have seen a lot of things, lost a lot of friends. It's kind of makes you jumpy sometimes. He probably all should have got out a long time ago, especially Gibbo, but you know what they say, you can't teach an old dog new tricks sometimes. Hell, if they'd let me, I'd still be in the service myself. As it is, I just have no other place to go, whereas Gibbo had a brother until this shit kicked off. I don't know how he's going to take what I'm going to tell him, but I'll make sure he stays cool, at least as cool as he can.
Eric is just kind of nodding kind of solemnly at this point.
All right, well, you and your band hang loose, huh?
Always do.
All right, I'll see you.
Just give him a nod and then return to the room.
Miller spares a backward glance for the kid and gives her a wink. And then he saunters down the companionway to find Gibbo.
She looks at
Where are
you
they?
like the kid looks at you kind of nervously and obviously a bit scared.
Miller throws her the paper aeroplane that he made earlier on at the kid, and when it lands, if she unfurls it, she'll see that it's a picture of a little girl about the same age of her.
He'll look at it kind of curiously.
Miller mouths to her, "That's my daughter," and winks. Then he goes to find Gibbo.
Your words seem to kind of soothe her anxiety a little bit. You find Gibbo back on the bridge, currently manning the ship.
Miller goes in and seals, not obviously, but sort of closes the door, and then with one click sort of locks it, so Gibbo can't get out.
Don't you trust me or something?
It's not that I don't trust you, pal, but
Gibbo's just staring out the window at the main view screen, not really paying attention to anything at the moment.
how's it going, pal? Any changes?
No, everything's flying as well as this thing is going to fly at the moment. At least you lot seems to be keeping it from falling apart on us.
Yeah. Barry's even made some few replacements. I think you'll find that leaky power coupling on the port thruster's a bit better now. That is when
Good.
we get out of QT.
Yeah, good, good.
Look, pal. Mercy's laid something on me, and I got to tell you straight away.
Spins the chair right round and looks at him. What?
Miller clears his throat, and what Gibbo will have a presentiment of is kind of something almost formal. He puts his hand on Gibbo's shoulder. Look, pal. According to Mercy, she seems pretty sure. I don't think any of your friends on the station made it. I think the pirates got a whole bunch of them. I'm sorry, pal.
Yeah. Gibbo basically jumps out of the chair towards the door. I'm going to get that little bitch and my... And when he reaches the door and finds it's locked, he's sort of yanking at it to open.
Cool down, pal. We both know you ain't gonna hurt the kid.
That's
Only
what I'm going to
yourself.
fucking pan a little hide for that. Open this fucking door!
Come on, pal. Settle down. We both lost a lot of friends.
That was my squad.
I know. I know, and I get it. We've both been there. You know we got a job to do. And this is not going to be an easy ride. You know what's going to be waiting for us at the end. I need you focused. Look, pal. Miller spins him round. I told you because we're buddies and because, well, we go way back. And I ain't keeping that kind of thing from a friend. But you know, command protocol. I don't want to pull that kind of bullshit on you, but way I figure it, we're serving. We're back in the uniform. Even if it ain't the UEE. I didn't need to tell you, pal. And you know, command probably wouldn't have told us if it would affect morale or our performance on duty. So I've done my best to cut you a break here, pal, but I really need you to work for me on this one.
Fine. You keep that little minx away from me.
Yeah, don't worry. I didn't tell him why, but I gave Erica a heads up to keep the kid out of your way, okay? Just you stay out of hers, okay?
Fine by me. Did you open this door? I heard some mention of drink.
Yeah. Well, Miller pulls out a bottle that he pocketed from Mercy's stash and 2 glasses. You don't have to go anywhere for that, pal.
Okay, if you're happy with me driving while under the influence.
Hey, pal. Better you than any of us. You could be 2 sheets to the wind, and you'd still drive better than any of these assholes. Or me, for that matter.
Yeah, that's true, that's true. Pour a big one.
Miller pours him a double, and they both knock it back in unison. Oh, that stuff is raw.
What the hell was that?
I don't know. I think it might have been deck cleaner.
Okay.
Well, if we didn't know this was serious before, we know it now. We're in something deep. I'm going to lay something on you, pal. I'm trusting you with this. Miller makes sure every comm on the bridge is off, even if he checks.
You can shut it off. I mean, you're in the the bridge. So
Way I saw it, there was no way for us to come out of this clean. We were gonna, well, we were gonna be in deep shit whatever we did. So I ratted on Cass to O and I told my old bosses exactly what's going down, and if they don't double cross us and they aren't in on the op, which my contact says they weren't, it means they're going to be waiting for us when the weapon shipment comes off, and we're probably going to hand the Cass our ass. I'm going to need you to cover my back, brother.
Fine. Yeah.
I'm sorry, pal. There's a chance you know what O and I are like, murky as shit. I left the ship mostly out of what I told them. I hope they don't connect the dots and work out this might be one of their black ops. I mean, who knows how deep this goes. Anyway, I got a couple of buddies in O and I who covered for me before, and I kind of trust them. So I went straight to them.
You
We meet up with a
trust somebody in
Starfarer.
ONI?
Yeah, well, it's trust is a relative term, my friend. Except between you and me. Then it's absolute.
Okay, yeah, I've got your back, dude.
Yeah,
You know I have.
I do, pal. There's nobody I'd rather have there. Except maybe my grandfather, but he's dead. Besides, then I'd have to give him back this hat.
Probably look better on him.
Oh, trust me, it did, pal. Listen. We've been through a lot. I want us to get through this. Preferably without a criminal record to add to our troubles. I mean, all you and I got is the fact that we're UE citizens. Otherwise, we're going to get our asses kicked, so I didn't want that revoked, pal.
Nope, I bust my gut getting that. Got fucking shot at getting that.
Yeah, we all did.
Fine. Okay, yeah.
Just be ready for some trouble. And Miller stands up after downing another one and then says, just as he's going to unlock the door, Owen Gibbo,
What?
this Starfarer we're meeting, do you remember that guy used to work back in transportation?
Yeah.
He's
Oh,
the guy
yes,
who's
what?
running Annis. Yeah, he wasn't that dodgy. He was pretty. He was ducking and diving because he was running Black Ops for O&I. Anyway, he's the guy we're meeting in the Starfarer. I've got a data packet for him. It's going to O&I, but I also asked for some more big guns for you, pal. Let's hope they come through.
Richard smiles evilly.
Oh yeah, apologies. Retcon, it's a girl.
Okay. Well. Thanks for telling me.
Hey pal, no secrets between us, huh?
Nope.
Miller shakes his hand, and then he salutes for the fallen, my friend. Let's do this for them.
Yeah.
At least this way, we might get to shoot some bad guys.
Bad guys.
I'll leave you the bottle, pal. Just don't let Mercy see.
You think there's going to be anything left for her to say?
She's sharp, that one. Doesn't matter whether there's anything left. She just needs the bottle. She'll glass me and then probably want to stitch me up afterwards.
Yeah, you don't want her stitching you up.
She's not that bad. She did a good job on that guy's leg. Once she got it off.
It was the fact she took so much pleasure in taking it off that's the problem.
Yeah, well,
Okay, I'll chuck it out the in the trash before she sees it.
Good man, Gibbo. Keep an half an eye on your station, pal. Talk to you
I
later.
always do. See ya.
during this time, the rest of you,
That's nothing. I was gonna say I think I've had quite enough screen time now.
I was gonna cut to the others. Barry, and Erica and Mercy and Edward, all of you are in the mess hall at the moment. with your newly found booze. Whoever wishes to partake.
Now, this one is an alcoholic ginger beer. This one's my favourite. And this one, what is this? Purple. I think this is an ale. I don't think I've tried this one. Interesting. I shall try one now. I'm talking through the alcohol with everyone. As I am aware of. Familiar with most of them.
There's a whole variety of them.
Let's mix a bunch of them together and make one super drink. Oh, come on, it's gonna be fun.
Maybe not all of them for one night. Maybe-
Let's start with, like three of them together.
You're not supposed to mix drinks.
What?
Who decides of that?
You'll be very ill.
If you don't mix drinks, you get bored of drinking the same one over and over again, don't you?
Yeah. Didn't you hear anything called a cocktail doctor?
Variety is the spice of life.
Generally, cocktails don't come in whole bottles, though.
Well, they should.
Yeah. Be much easier. It's very hard to make a cocktail when you're pissed.
Indeed.
I mean, you mix too many of these together, maybe it'll function as extra fuel in case we need it. Some of these can probably be used as fuel already.